Hey guys, this is Zero Budget Geek and I'm at DexCon 2015 and right now I am with Matthias of Nighthawk Games and we are taking a look at Rampaging Jotunn. Jotunn. Alright, I keep getting it wrong.
Jotunn is the actually the Old Norse Viking word for giant.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, this looks really cool right now. We're going to take a closer look in a minute, but Matthias, just tell me about this game. What is this about?
Well, Rampaging Jotunn is a two-player Norse-themed game where you build an island, you populate it with your armies and your villages, and you try to destroy each other. You're trying to conquer your island. You're trying to build your Viking kingdom.
Okay.
And while we're doing that, we have a giant that's running around the island trying to crush us and destroy us and get us off his island.
He's the rampaging giant.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's really how the
game's
cool. About.
Well, let's switch camera angles and just get a closer look at this game.
All right. Rampaging Jotunn originally is a game that starts with building your own island, and you do that by using these land pieces. So we're going to pick 6 right now, just because, and we're going to take the rest of these out. Now the way we design this is that you build the island around the center hex, and you use it on the tips of these pieces, so you can have it on any way 3 axes. And with the 12 pieces that you have that come with the core game, you have over 8 million islands that you can build.
Wow.
And literally, I'll show you what the island looks like this way, and then I'll do 1 turn of each one, and you're going to see a completely different island. So you have this, and this is the island, and that's what you're going to be playing on for this game.
Okay.
And then you're going to populate it with your villages, your Vikings.
These are very cool.
Oh, those are 3D printed.
These are 3D printed. That's pretty cool.
They're going to
want everybody at home to see those. I mean, those are just really cool looking little houses and everything. I mean, I just love
all the
things
that be wood when they go to production.
The
reason why I made these is because I had Monopoly houses from the Game Crafter, and they drove me insane. Vikings do not live in Monopoly houses, so I went on Illustrator, built them, sent them to a friend who does 3D printing, and he made them for me.
Awesome.
And they're just wonderful. But like I was saying with this, you make 1 turn. You have a completely different island in a second. And of course, as I'm on screen, I'm having a hard point again.
Wow, look at that. So the middle area is almost completely blocked in now this time. That's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty ingenious.
And each one is completely different.
Oh, we have more tiles, so we didn't even use all the tiles.
No, you only use 6.
Oh, okay.
And you have 12 tiles in the core game, which allow you to do 8 million islands.
Wow, that's incredible.
Each one of the armies are controlled by these different cards, and now the cards have each individual army's image on them, so you know which army they go to.
Okay, for the different players.
And that's primarily how you move your armies around the board, and there's point cost for each area for you to move into.
This right here, these cards?
Yes. And then you also have this giant running around the island trying to crush everything. And each player has 5 cards in their hand, and they also move the giant around with these. And there's different ones telling you different things you can do with the Jotunn. At the same time, there are special cards for the armies, such as move your army 2 spaces regardless of terrain, which is one of the most powerful cards in the game because it costs you 4 movement points to move through the mountains. And when you use a movement point, you flip it over, and you can't use it again until you use the rest of them.
Okay.
So you're stuck here, and your opponent's army is there, or your opponent's village is there. You use this card, and you can go 1, 2, as opposed to waiting 2 turns or almost 6 turns to get that back.
Right. So how does a typical turn go in this game?
The turns go basically you either use the cards in your hand or one of the movement cards, and if you don't affect the Jotunn with a card, he moves forward 1 step. So he's always moving, no matter whether you move him.
What's the 1 step? Is that this number here?
No, it's 1 hex.
Oh, okay.
1 forward. But if I use something like turn 1 facing, that's 1, and then 1 movement point is forward. But here he wouldn't have done that because that's 2 points. But there.
Okay, so the giant's facing does matter.
His is the only facing that matters, actually.
Oh, okay.
This game is generally about 20-30 minutes long.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a little longer based on how people play. My wife likes to say that she got the game that went 120 minutes long. But generally it's 20 to 30 minutes. And we've run through about 20 games today alone.
Do your armies start on the board?
Yes, they start within 1 hex of your village.
Somebody's calling me on my cell phone there. Okay, so at the beginning of the game, you're going to have your villages out?
On the island.
You're going to have all of them out?
Yeah, all 3. Because you can't make any more.
Okay.
So you put your villages out. Your opponent puts their villages out. And normally this would be a suicidal mission putting that there. But just for illustrations. And you put you have 2 armies and 3 villages. So you have to choose who you want to defend.
Where does the giant start?
Giant starts in the center.
Oh, he always starts in the center.
He always starts in the center. You roll a die. It says 3, and that's which way he's facing to start.
Oh, okay. And that's the initial giant setup.
Yep.
And then on the turn, he pretty much only moves based on what the cards are played.
If the cards are played and there's a movement on the card, for him, he moves that way. But if you do not affect him, if you use your armies instead, he moves forward 1 step.
Okay, so no matter what, he's going to move forward 1 step. And so what happens when he moves into a space with one of your armies?
Well, that's he steps on your army. And then no matter how many more movement points he has, he stops there to pick the goo out of his shoes.
Okay. Are they gone? They're gone
dead.
from the... All right, dead. And is the same thing with the...
with the village,
with the villages,
he'll crush the village, and then he restarts. And we did that simply because you don't want the giant in your neighborhood.
Right.
Because it's just unfair.
So he only resets on a village crush?
A village crush or stepping in the volcano.
Oh, okay.
He's smart enough to turn around when it's about to hit the water, but the volcano, he just jumps right in.
Okay.
And then he resets to the center and starts over.
Okay. How does the game end?
The game ends when one of the players loses all their villages.
Oh, okay. So even if you have armies on the board, if you lose all your villages, I mean,
you have no home.
They have no home, so they're gone.
And it's like I said, it's really fast paced.
All right, so that's a really good explanation. You definitely gave me a good overview of the game. I think I have enough to be able to play it. For the people at home that want to play this game, I mean, how can they get it? Is this out in stores?
Right now, it's not in stores. We're talking to a company about partnering with them to do the distribution. But we are going to Kickstarter in January.
Okay.
We're going to do it. We're going to launch at PAX South, and then we're going to end at Dreamation here.
Okay.
The game is going to be about $25 to $28. We're still just getting quotes.
Oh, that's a great price range. How many players is it?
This is a 2-player game.
Okay.
We have already written and designed an expansion for 4 players.
That sounds awesome.
Well, it expands the game dramatically. Does
the island get bigger?
Yes.
So
there's pieces that add onto the edges of the island, makes it 25% larger. It gives you 4 players, weapons, armor, a second Jotun. The Jotuns have powers.
Oh my goodness.
So it's a lot, and that is a murder factory. I mean, it is brutal. We have a 3-person version of this game that we're going to offer during the Kickstarter, but it's not going to be exclusive. It's just they'll be able to get that first, where it's just adding another player and taking one of the villages away, so you have enough space for 3 players. But that's just going to be brutal because you have 2 players against 1 player to start, and then they even out. The 4-player is just brutal. When you were saying before that if we still have armies on the board, in the 4-player game, those armies become berserkers and can take over other players' villages.
Oh, so
in
in a 4-player game, if you lose all your villages, you're not out yet. But now you can sort of play the spoiler and just can you win?
Yeah,
you can win because you got to just be the last one standing.
You got to be the last one with a village, and you can take over another player's village.
Ah, okay.
And you can get back in the game as a player.
Ah, okay, I see. I understand. Okay, wow, that's very interesting. So I'm very excited to. I mean, it's really cool. I'm hoping to later on in the con, and I definitely want to play. It's really fun. Actually, I don't think we showed some of the cover art, and which I think is just really fantastic. And just take a look at that. You guys just, I mean, seem to have a. Do you do the art, or do you have you have?
I have a phenomenal artist from Argentina called Nicolas Giancandino.
Mm-hmm. So right now it's strictly a 2-player game, but eventually there will be an expansion for more players.
Yes.
It is. How long does it take to play?
It takes about, well, the single player game takes about 20-30 minutes once you know the rules. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you, if you come up and play, you'll be able to teach the next person how to play right off the bat. Right.
Yeah, it seems pretty simple enough, but I definitely can see the depth there. Well, Matthias, thank you so much for teaching me about this game and sitting with me and letting the people at home know about it. I can't wait for this Kickstarter. I'm dying to play it right now, and I think I'm gonna be one of the first backers on Kickstarter because it seems really cool. I love the idea of it. I love the Rampaging Jotunn. I gotta get that right. And so again, thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
All right, and guys, I'll see you on the next video.
Thank you for checking out a United Geeks Network family member. If you enjoyed it and are looking for other online media with a geek culture slant, head over to unitedgeeksnetwork.com where you will find Almost Podcast, a fan-driven companion podcast for the Almost Human television show. The United Geeks Network. You can broadcast your geekiness at unitedgeeksnetwork.com.